Captain's log, diaper date 2024. The collective known as the Democrats have captured Japan's prime minister.
Who are you?
I am the Democrats.
That is a contradiction. The Borg have a collective consciousness. There are no individuals.
I am the Democrats.
Are you their leader?
I bring chaos to my diaper.
An interesting, if cryptic, response.
So yesterday, speaking of like cringe fests at the White House, all throughout the White House, which is a common cringe fest daily, Joe Biden held a joint dinner with the Japanese Prime Minister, and well, it was weird. Okay, it was just straight up weird. First, let's start with Hillary Clinton's dress. Don't know what this is, but to me, sure as hell looks like cultural appropriation. This dress is what do you make of this? Is she coming for Joe Biden? Like she sees the dresses that Joe Biden wears, and she says, "Well, lady, you got up your shower curtain game." People often say they want a big tent party. Is Hillary Clinton trying to be that big tent? Is this clear cultural appropriation? What's going on here? I thought my culture is not your costume. Isn't that like something that libs say? Don't know. This is Bill and Hillary wobbling into the event.
How does it feel to be back?
Great, especially for this.
Who's going to win the election?
Great friend.
How are you guys feeling about 2024?
Oh, we're having a good time tonight.
Who's going to win the election?
Thank you.
Mr. President, who's going to win the election? How do you feel?
Thank you all.
Well, you know who I think's going to win.
Hillary, who's you wearing? Who's your dress by?
I think that her dress is the leftover material from the Chinese spy balloon. I don't know. Seems like it would be about approximately that size. That is a monster. That is a monster dress. For the first time ever, I agree with the reporting class at the White House. Hey, Hillary, what are you wearing? What is that exactly? Not sure. Not sure what Joe Biden said either. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our Joe Biden health update for the day. Joe Biden unable to speak the English language. I don't think we were able to put a bouncing ball on this one just yet. But here is our Joe Biden health update. Joe Biden slurring his words at this very important state dinner.
Well, we are the same, Japan and the United States. We may be divided by distance, but generations after generation, we've been brought together, the same hopes, the same values, the same commitment to democracy and freedom, and to dignity for all.
It's so painful. Joe Biden tried to cheers the guy and he didn't have a glass?
And committed to building a future worthy of the highest hopes and that of our predecessors and our people have dreamed of. Ladies and gentlemen, so please join me in raising your glass, and I don't have a glass. There you go. You have one for the Prime Minister? Thank you.
So, the same day that Donald Trump is charming hearts at Chick-fil-A and taking selfies and getting huge hugs from people who love him is the same day that Joe Biden's like, bring me a glass! I wish for where's my cupbearer? No word on if Kamala Harris was at the dinner. They don't really like each other. Kamala Harris doing her best weird impression of a human being. It's not really going over well. This is the same Kamala Harris that assured us that Joe Biden is very much alive. That's an exact quote when asked about Joe Biden's chances. Joe Biden's very much alive. Here's Kamala Harris back for more cringe.
it's important to see that, you know, the nature of democracy, there's a duality to it. It has two sides to it. On the one hand, there's incredible strength, right? That when a democracy is intact, what it does for its people, in terms of the strength it gives its people and protects in terms of individual freedoms and rights, right? And liberties. There's an incredible strength in that, what it does for its people when it is intact. On the other hand, democracy, extraordinarily fragile.
Yeah.
It's only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. That's by nature what a democracy is. It is about the people.
Okay. Kamala Harris barking, talking about how Donald Trump's no longer a dog whistle, it's a bark. Got it? Trump wants to be a dictator. What would a dictator do? He'd throw his political enemies in prison. He'd persecute the supporters of his political enemies. He'd clamp down on free speech. He'd arrest everybody who didn't like him. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Uno Reverse Day. It's actually me. Which is the, effectively this Kamala Harris clip. Here you go. Nuclear cringe.
Right now, Donald Trump is telling us that he wants to be a dictator. And if we've learned one thing about this man, believe him.
Yeah.
Believe how crazy he is, because he telegraphs it.
That's exactly right.
He tells you. There's no hoodwinking.
Exactly right.
He tells you over and over again, and on Truth Social at 3 a.m. and cap locks, and then the next morning on Newsmax. I mean, it's
literally
nonstop.
there's no whisper. There is no dog whistle. It is like a gigantic bark.
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say this genuinely could be the last Democratic election we ever have.
You're right.
Listen to what he says. He's telling you dictators aren't a dictator for one day, and then it's let the people decide.
Who are these people? Is this the best the left has when it comes to podcasting? Like, really? A bunch of Chardonnay moms from the Upper East Side? What, like from like a couple Malibu moms whose like husbands, like, I don't know, work for Amazon? Like, who the hell are these ladies? What is this podcast? How much do they donate to get this cringe interview? And also, they keep talking about dogs. They already tried that. Hillary Clinton already did that routine. Trump's a dog, bark like a dog. Remember that time that Hillary Clinton barked like a dog? Why didn't people vote for Hillary? Why didn't people like Hillary? Oh, because she was barking like a dog. Really, literally.
And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. You know, I think we could cut right through a lot of their, their claims.
I believe in God. I believe in our Savior. I believe in Jesus. And I'm deeply thankful that that was the candidate in 2016. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful forever. I'm thankful forever. Not saying it was 100% providential, but, well, I'm reminded, ladies and gentlemen, of the prayer of Benjamin Franklin at the opening of the Constitutional Convention. How can nations rise without God's aid? If a sparrow cannot fall without his notice, how can nations rise without his aid?